Can we play some of this Elon song real quick for people who haven't seen it? Maybe just about 10 seconds to give you a general idea. This is from Skybrowse. Shout out. You guys really should check out his AI stuff on YouTube. He's only got a few thousand followers, but this is a banger of a song.
Oh, so Elon didn't make this. This is just about Elon.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And I'll just play a little bit of it.
Jackals dancing, don't ask why. Recycle rockets spark the sky. The stars are lead girlfriends, AI. His hearts go out to you and I. And all the Cybertrucks will fry. Turns out he backed this orange guy. Flamethrower fused the Falcon thrust. Now we're all breathing Elon's blood. Named a spit capture code. He's building tunnels under roads. Neural lace in every skull. The woke mind virus time to go. AI and his rays are young.
All right.
I mean, listen, it's pretty darn good. I still don't think it's as good as like this, 50 Cent song that was turned into a 60s ballad.
Yeah.
Or also,
sure.
Or the 50 Cent song. Many Men that was also turned into Rasta.
I just want to clarify that it's not so much about the song. I want the video.
Oh no, sure. Which is also good and exemplary of all of it as a total package.
This video is made on Grok Imagine.
Yeah.
And so it's all just about like Elon, and here's a picture of him like flying a spaceship.
Yeah.
And then there's my favorite part, actually. There's two scenes. This is really, it's so incredible.
Yeah.
A SpaceX ship flying where like a cat girl is dancing. But my favorite is this, where Elon sends his heart out to everybody. And
in the Nazi salute?
yeah, watch.
Salute and let the tears fly.
It's crazy.
No, listen, it's really good.
It's over.
And it is. But so to your question and my prediction, we were talking about this before. Not too long ago, our bandwidth as an audience was not so stretched thin, right? We had movie theaters and you had 3 network television channels. That was it. And then Fox, then we had 4. And then we had cable. And cable, when it started, was really kind of this, it was like the internet when it started. It was this Wild West. Like, nobody knew what to do. Everybody just was grabbing a cable channel. Like, Disney was like, well, we don't have original content, so we just filled it with the old vault, which is awesome when I was a kid because I got to watch all the old Disney stuff, right? You can't even find that stuff anymore, in part because a lot of the woke culture was like, well, you can't have this in this cartoon and that cartoon, whatever. But the point is, then you get through cable, and then you start getting into the internet. Even before streaming, you start getting YouTube, and you start getting things like that. Now there's
episodes,
certainly, yeah. And then streaming, and now we're at where we're at. So we're already stretched so thin. You have so many options, and which is why any individual. If you Cheers on NBC back in the day, they would have gotten 50% of the viewing audience in the United States to watch one episode. 50% of the entire nation would watch Cheers. You're lucky if you get up 2%, or if, you know what I mean? Like, that's a hit, right? So that's already an issue. Add to that now what I think will happen. I think the studios are all going to start implementing AI. It's going to be more like a frog in a pot. They can't just come out swinging and be like, here's a fully AI movie.
But they're already doing that with animators who are being forced to animate movies that they are being told that they're being used to train on AI. Like they're putting themselves out of a job.
What's that service that we talked about?
Oh,
AI shows.
I forgot. Well,
yes, that is slowly happening. Netflix is incorporating some of that. Yes, that is slowly happening. Again, animation is an easier thing to do, right? We are not quite across the uncanny valley, but we're very, very close to getting animation that looks photorealistic, that is indiscernible, right? Will Smith eating spaghetti 3 years ago was a fever dream. Yeah. Will Smith eating spaghetti now looks like Will Smith eating spaghetti. So you give it 1 more year, 2 more years, it will be unbelievable what we're looking at. So, but just hear me out really quick. So the studios, I think, like a frog in a pot, they're going to start with the low-level jobs. They're going to say, we don't need you anymore. Mid and high-level people will be like, hang on a second. And they're going to, hey, do you still want your benefits? You still want your health insurance and your pension? Then you guys got to just kind of sit this one out because we can't, it doesn't make any sense anymore. We have to please the shareholders. It's fiduciary responsibility. So we have to implement it. And then once those contracts and the guilds and the unions expire from, another 3 or 4 years from now, they'll come for the mid-level jobs and eventually for the high-level jobs, right? That'll be that. But in the interim, what I think is going to happen even faster is because it doesn't put the studios in any kind of precarious position of putting people out of work, let's say, in a very overt way, but it will make them gang loads of money. And I'll use Disney as an example. By the way, Disney, who is a former employer of mine and who I also, even though I don't like a lot of what's gone on with the company, I still think has a lot of incredible stuff that you can go and you can get at Disney Plus. Well, guess what's going to happen? Very soon, Disney Plus will have the Creators Corner, and you will have access to their entire library of IP, and you will be able to mix and match whatever you want for a fraction of the price. If a fully human-made movie costs you $20, right? You can go to Disney Plus, and for $2, you can scan your own face and own voice. And so you get to be the star of whatever you want. And with just a little creativity, not really any skill, talent, or ability, but just a little creativity and a keyboard, or even just talking into a microphone, you can say, I want a movie that has Luke Skywalker and Indiana Jones and the Avengers and Flynn Rider, because why not? And they're on a treasure hunt on Mars, and it feels and it looks like this. Enter. Boom. That is prompted, and it's unbelievable. And then on top of that, because we live in a sharer economy, thanks to YouTube and everything else, you will make one and all of your friends will make one, and then you'll just swap and everyone will just watch each other's movies.
Well, here's my prediction. Very much exactly as you described it. One of our guys here, one of my buddies, Andy, knows literally everything about Final Fantasy. And so the future is going to look like social media. You're going to go onto Disney Plus, Creators Corner. That's a great name for it because I never knew what to call it, Disney AI or something. And you're going to say, I want to see a movie about this thing, right? Like you described, it'll generate it.
Right.
Now, my buddy Andy, he's going to go to the video game creators through PlayStation Network, and he's going to say, generate me a video game, Final Fantasy, using these characters. Use the spell base from Final Fantasy IX with the limit break of Final Fantasy VII. I want you to use these cities, render. It'll make the game.
Yes.
He'll make some tweaks to it. He'll post it to his account, and you will follow him and say, my favorite video game creator is Andy. He makes the best Final Fantasy games.
Yes, and in doing so, unemploying thousands of people.
And one of the things that's going on right now, if you don't know, David Ellison, who just took over at Paramount because he was running Skydance, he's been very, very, very vocal about the fact that they are not just a media company, they are a technology company because they want to implement AI. Now, they're framing it as using it as a way to use market research. They want to do, one of the reasons they want to buy Warner Brothers is because they want access to all of their data.
Yep.
That's a horrible idea as well. Their IP, the news networks being what it was, but they want to be able to use it to understand preferences, what people want. Yeah, for the next 5 to 10 years, perhaps that's just deciding whether to keep Taylor Sheridan on or send him over to NBC Universal. But what's going to happen down the line? And I hate that idea because I don't want to do that. I want to watch something created by somebody else.
All of us deep down in our humanity wants that.
No.
But
yes.
Well, no, I want to fix all of these movies. The first thing I'm doing is once I get access to the AI, I'm going to say, remake Star Wars Revenge of the Sith and make it so that Mace Windu doesn't let Anakin cut his arm off. And then when Anakin's like, you can't kill him, it's not the Jedi way, Mace will go, that's a good point, let's arrest him, and then deal with it. And when Anakin turns around, he goes, whack.
The problem that I have with all that
Star Wars over.
But by the way, but just really quickly, this is a very good example. Star Wars and all of its IP is under Disney Plus. So even if you don't mix and match, if all Disney did was go to every Star Wars fan in the world and said, you can make whatever Star Wars movie you want that Kathleen Kennedy can't touch. And you got to go make your dream Star Wars movie. And you got to make your dream Star Wars movie. And you all got to make, and I got to make, who is then going and watching any movie ever again? Who's going to the theater?
Agreed.
Who's watching television?
But let me one up you. That might be in the next couple of years.
I'm saying.
But do you know where we go 5 years later?
Where?
You are not going to open up Disney and say, make me a movie about Luke Skywalker fighting Vader. You're going to plug in your Neuralink and say, I want to be Luke Skywalker fighting Vader.
Sure.
And then your eyes are going to go.
Yes, sure. 100%.
Maybe
By the way, also with the gaming thing, EA already has a sandbox where you can go to it. They announced this, I think, over a year ago. You can go use their AI to go make whatever you want.
Wow.
Okay, but my question for you is, do you think that's a good thing?
No, I don't think it's a good. No. I don't think it's a good thing. I think that
For any of this, really?
No, I listen. I mean, part of why I'm building Wildwood, which is the studio that I'm building in Austin, one of the main pillars of that is to hold on to human art and entertainment. To like in the same way that we have organic food, where most of the food you go to the grocery store and it's processed and it's nonsense and it's bad for you, and yet there's still at least some of us that are like, I'm looking for the organic stuff. That's what I want. Or like vinyl records. Once upon a time, the entire pie of music was all vinyl, right? And then the cassette came out, and then people were like, well, we don't really need to make as many vinyls. And then the CD, and then streaming and everything. But some wacky people said, you know what? No matter how much the rest of the industry is going to zig, I'm going to zag. I'm going to keep pressing this licorice pizza because there's something that is imperfect about it. There's something that is human about it, and it's tactile and it's real. And guess what? Vinyl record sales have gone up in the last 10 years because people are still hungry for that. Deep down in all of us, we're still hungry for it.
But the thing is, people don't want vinyl records for the audio. They want the vinyl records for the thing to hold on to. Sure. Everybody wants to have, they want to have it on their phone. They want to have it in their car, and vinyl records don't do that. It's just that they want to have the packaging, the actual vinyl, the different colors and stuff.
I want to get your thoughts on this. I'm sure you've seen a ton of this Sora
Tons
stuff.
of Sora, yeah.
But this is amazing. So I asked Sora AI, Sora 2, to use Ian Crossland of Timcast IRL as the star of a show called Ghouls and Ghosts. Watch the trailer.
The veil
Title
is
needs
thin.
work.
Okay, let me play it again.
Title needs work.
Here's the trailer. Ready?
The veil is thin. They claw their way back.
They're coming out of the ground. Ghouls feed on flesh, ghosts on fear.
You can't kill a ghost!
But you can send it screaming.
Then I'll starve them both.
Stay down! Keep moving! Run!
This October, the veil is thin.
There's so much there that I literally just wrote a movie about ghouls and ghosts starring Ian Crossland, and notice the few things they put in there. Ghouls feed on flesh, ghosts on fear. Ian then says, so I'll starve them both.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's great writing.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not bad. It's not bad. And that's just with an app on a phone using whatever version
2
of AI.
seconds.
Exactly. And so if that's what we have right now, and given Moore's law and exponential growth of technology, guys, we're already way past the inflection point.
Here, check this one out real quick. Oh, come on.
Oh, come on. Give me some
Time to earn
audio.
it. Looking for frass, moisture lines. There you are. Got him.
Specimen confirmed. 1 live termite. Competitor Crossland. Time 47.12 seconds.
1 termite.
This is Ian Crossland at the Termite Inspection Olympics. I just chose something as absurd as I could.
Yep.
And the banner in the background.
Yep.
What really blew my mind in this ghosts and ghouls thing is this scene right here when he says this. Listen.
You can't kill a ghost!
The room tone. When the reverb when he says you can't kill a ghost matches the room he's in.
Yeah.
I hate the idea that that's not created by a human. I was rewatching GoldenEye like 2 nights ago, and there's a scene at the very beginning of the movie when he comes down the staircase in the USSR, and he frames up and he comes in, his eyes directly come into the light, and it's framed perfectly across his face. Well, Martin Campbell had to work with a lot of people to make that look good. When you talk about remaking a movie in the way that you want it to be, one of the reasons I'm more lenient when I review movies is that it is a collaborative experience that takes hundreds of people and hundreds of hours of work, and the amount of humanity that goes into it. Yes, movies end up crappy a lot of the time. There's a lot of examples that I could give you in the last couple of years, like the Crow remake, which is like the worst movie I've ever seen. But the point is, human beings had to come together to make it. And I don't want to see those Star Wars movies are what they are because human beings came together and made them.
It's like on the Cope bingo card where they're like, but they worked so hard on it, but it sucks. No, but I agree with you.
Okay, then that's Cope, but is that's still a better future than one where
I agree with you in principle. I think that
that is on the Cope bingo. That's literally on the Cope bingo card too.
I don't know. Do you think most people feel that way? Do you think that that's the minority take?
I think deep down we all feel that way, but I don't think that. Unfortunately, I don't think that that's how human dynamics work. I think that similar to fast food, like we all used to eat whole food. We all used to like know a butcher and a grocer, and we all, we made our own food. We knew where it came from, and we nourished ourselves with it. Now, granted, there are a lot of other factors that led into our type 2 diabetes and obesity epidemic, not just that people wanted it fast and cheap. It was also being literally designed by former tobacco giants to make it addictive and all these things. So there's all that. But also, people, when given an option between fast and cheap and tasty, and this is going to take a little while and I got to work for it and it might be more expensive, people vote with their pocketbook over and over and over again. And more than that, again, I believe we are very quickly marching into a world where more and more people are going to be making less and less money. Already, we have huge conglomerates and corporations that the wealth divide. And again, I'm a capitalist, but I think that capitalism, without some kind of regulation and keeping people from taking advantage of it, which has been going on for a long time, is not a great thing, right? So we're already in a place where people are struggling. Clearly. And then more and more people are going to be out of work because of AI, which means they're not going to be having discretionary income to even go to. There'll be the option, hey, you want to go to the movie theater and watch that fully human-made, by Wildwood? We'll make certified organic human-made movies from free-range artists, right? Like, that's what we're going to do. And we'll do whatever we can to bring that price point down, but we'll never be able to compete with the price of what an AI movie will be. And a lot of people are just going to be like, man, it's the amount of money it's going to take for me and my whole family and the parking and the popcorn and everything else to go to the movie theater. Or little Timmy here can go to the Creator's Corner and he gets to make the family movie this Friday, and he and his siblings get to be the star of it. They get to scan their face and they get to be the new Superman. Well, I guess we're going to stay in tonight, guys.
I think people are going to live in pods, neural linked into a digital universe where they want for nothing.
Do you want that?
No. It sounds like a nightmare scenario. What I think will happen is there's going to be three principal factions. Staunch conservatives, religious folk that won't go anywhere near it. The Amish are a great example. And then many mainstream conservatives are going to be like, that's not for me. You'll then get the more moderate types that are, I would say people similar to my position, where we're not staunch conservatives, maybe you, where you buy the new PS10, which includes the Neuralink adapter for your brain, which allows you to network into the digital universes. And then liberals will largely just live in these universes. They'll do remote work, air quotes, data entry or whatever menial task they can do, but their costs will be minimal. The pod they live in, which is air conditioned, heated, insulated, protected in a big facility,
Catheter bag.
I think they'd wake up and go to the bathroom, right? You snap out of the machine, you go to the bathroom, you go back, you get back in the machine. They're gaunt, they're frail, they're sickly looking, but who cares? They only need $100 a month to plug into the machine where they're a gigantic white knight soldier fighting dragons. And they don't have the moral issues with living in that way. All the trans people are the women or the men they want to be. All the furries are the animals they want to be. Some people are like, I live in a universe where we're all rabbits. One guy goes, I live in a universe where it's just me, no one else, and I fight dragons. And it's $100 a month. I don't got to worry about it. And when you're in this place, you can eat whatever you want, whenever you want.
Have you read Huxley's Brave New World?
No.
So
I'm vaguely familiar with
it. A lot of people think that, we are in this Orwellian 1984, but we are 100% in Brave New World. Brave New World, basically, there's slight differences, but essentially and by the way, he wrote this in the 30s. One of the most prophetic manuscripts I think has ever been written. Also, he was a heavy LSD user, so I'm sure he was tapping into the other side with this. But essentially in Brave New World, it's a dystopian future where it's not this 1984 where everyone's in darkness and it's, newspeak and whatever. It's this thing that everybody loves being a part of because essentially everyone in the future is a clone. So going to nobody's having kids anymore.
Drugs.
And you're given drugs every day. So you're kind of like checked out on Soma. And from the time you come into the world as a child, you are immediately starting to be sexualized, put into groups with other kids and taught to, oh, this is sodomy and this is this. And yeah, go for it. Have fun, whatever. Boys and girls and girls and boys and go crazy. And so basically everyone is conditioned to just go be a mindless drone within this technocracy, if you will. And of course, the elite are not clones, but they have the medical science to live forever. And one person in all of this, who's kind of like mid-level, kind of has this aha moment, wakes up, and he ends up going to this place called, essentially like a reservation where the savages live. And as you're reading the book, and I'm reading it in high school, and, of course, the imagery that's coming to your head is like, Native Americans or whatever, living on the reservations, the savages. The savages are us right now. People who are like, no, I don't want to have my kids in a test tube. I want to have like actual birth. I want to have an actual marriage. I want to eat real food, and I don't want to be a part of all that crazy stuff. I need to, hold on a second, give a shout out to Luke Rutkowski at thebestpoliticalshirts.com for this one, because you're right about Brave New World, basically that you're given all of these things, your dopamine is stimulated, but we really are in all of it. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.